This is a video that I didn't even plan to make.
Yeah, I know, it looks bad, doesn't it? And now I just have to cut it. Oh, I already messed up,
Oh my god! This looks like it! This looks like the TV. Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. I think this is going to be a very fun journey adventure DIY because I don't really know how the end result is going to go, but we're gonna figure that out together. But before we get started with today's video, I want to give a big thank you to Squarespace for being today's sponsor. Squarespace lets you build sweet websites and online stores. They have amazing marketing tools and analytics, so if you want to build a presence online, you're going to need Squarespace, but more on that later. This is a video that I didn't even plan to make until very recently, and how this came about is that I am, spoiler, it's coming out next week, planning to do a DIY fireplace mantle in my room, and I was trying to figure out the plan for that and the design, and I was throwing up some pictures and ideas on my Instagram and asking you guys for your opinions on like what style I should do the fireplace in. But out of that, I got a lot of comments talking about my TV and how it looked outdated, it was too small, it didn't fit the space, it was throwing off the design. And I guess I have to agree. I'm looking at it right now and this TV served us well. It's many years old, from the early 2000s, and sure, it's definitely not as thin and as sleek as the new TVs you can get. The edge of it is quite bulky, a little bit rounded, shiny black plastic. It could use an updating, but I also got a little frustrated because, I mean, the TV works fine for what it needs to be. We're not watching like IMAX 4K films on it. We're watching like silly YouTube videos right before we go to bed on it. So I don't feel like I should have to buy a whole new TV just to have something that's stylishly acceptable. That seems very wasteful. So while I hear you that the TV is a little dated, I also don't feel right tossing it for a whole new one. So I thought, let's figure out how we can tackle this and maybe give my TV an updating without entirely replacing it. So I got to thinking, and we all know the it TV right now, the trendy TV right now is the Samsung Frame TV. It's absolutely beautiful, and I think the appeal of it is that it kind of looks like artwork hanging on a wall. So if you don't want to have an obvious TV on a wall, this kind of blends in, especially with a gallery wall. So my goal today is to try and make my TV look like a frame TV. Now the edge of my TV is quite thick and I can't just slap a nice little thin frame on it and call it a day because it's honestly not going to cover the thick trim of it. So an idea I have in mind came about when I was looking at inspo pictures of the actual frame TV itself. In a lot of cases when you see it styled, it's literally shown displaying a piece of art that has a white mat around it to look like a real framed piece of art. So I kind of thought maybe I could DIY a frame cover that also has the white mat on it that would A, be wide enough to cover the frame of my TV and also help it look like a piece of framed art. I don't know how this is gonna turn out because I've never actually seen a TV frame with like a permanent white mat around it, but I am here for the journey. So my immediate plan sort of is to make a cap that kind of sits on top of the TV and covers the existing frame and I guess covers the side too. And I want to just do it all in really nice sharp edges that are really even, and I think that'll just modernize this thing, make it look a little bit more sleek. It's a bit tricky because none of these lines are exactly straight. As you can see, the bottom has this fun curve to it, so I'm just gonna have to, I think, make the bottom straight, and there might be a little gap on either side that you won't see. And then I guess put a flat piece on the side here. And then to make the actual frame look a lot thinner than this, slim it down a little, I might split the difference of the width of this and make it half of black and half the white matte. So when you're actually looking at it from a distance, I think it's gonna do a fun optical illusion that looks like a thin black frame with a white matte. I'm hoping. That's my plan. Let's go with that. Yeah, it's gonna do a lot for this TV. Make it look new and fresh again. Okay, so I kind of got my plan of attack in mind. We're gonna have to go to the hardware store to get wood, the craft store to get the mat, the artwork mat for it, and then we'll head to the office to actually make the thing. Looks like this is it. All right. Look at all the fun trim options they have here. Like this one's fun with the stripes in it. That's really cool. Ooh, that's fancy. Some really cool options here. Okay, this is the stuff I want to use. This hobby board, you can get it in a bunch of different widths. I think I'll do the sides with this, and then I'll probably need a bigger piece for the bottom. Any of that fancy trim I saw would have been so good for the front, but I think for this one I want to do something simple just to start. So something like this should work perfectly. Okay, I am back at the office and I picked up all the supplies I need to make the frame. I'm gonna start with making the outer frame of it, and then we'll worry about the front, making the front pretty after. So what I got for that are these pieces of hobby wood. I like them because they're usually pretty straight and nicely sanded in the hardware store versus like the more raw hardwood. And I got them in 1/4 inch thickness, so they're not gonna add too much more bulk to the TV because that's not what this needs. I'm trying to keep it thin and not make it any thicker than it already is. So first step is gonna be cutting out all the pieces to make the outer rectangle box around the TV. According to my very legitimate measurements on this scrap piece of paper, it's so mangled because I brought it to every store that I went to make sure it still works. But this is what I got, and it's holding up well. So let's cut and measure some wood. Okay, you can see me doing some like mental math there. I decided to add an extra 1/8 of an inch to all my measurements just because that TV, because all of the curves on it, it was really difficult to get a clean measurement from it, and I just thought it's better that this thing is the tiniest bit too loose than the tiniest bit too tight and it won't fit on, and I did all that work. So I'm hoping that this was the right move, but that's what I did. So I cut out all my pieces and now we're gonna assemble the outer frame. Okay, I started with wood glue and what did I do? Okay, I started by putting all the corners together with wood glue and using painter's tape to just kind of hold it in place temporarily. I do want to come in with nails after to make sure it's really secure, but I need to make sure this is a perfect rectangle. And I thought of this idea, I think it's genius, we'll see, on how I can make sure it stays in a perfect right angle rectangle while it dries, and that is to use a ruler that's a 90-degree angle and use popsicle sticks to glue them on an angle to act as the supporting brace, so that when it dries, the wood glue dries, it can stay in like a perfect right angle on all the corners. And then I think because it's hot glue, I can just peel it off after when it's done. That's my thought. Let's try it. Okay, looking good. My TV should now fit exactly perfectly right inside this whole frame. And the corners all got glued and nailed together really well, so now we have to worry about doing the front top piece, making that look pretty. Oh my god! Hello! You're so funny and needy today. So my TV does this really fun thing where the sides around the TV are not all the same width. I think newer TVs have since fixed this because it is difficult and just looks wrong.
Yeah, I know, it looks bad, doesn't it?
So I have some options here, and one being I just make everything like the same size as the TV the way it is, but then I think it'll be even more obvious that it's off because you'll see it on the white too. What I think I'm gonna do instead is do the black trim in different sizes, but then when I come to do the white matte, make that one uniform size, so that I think when you're looking at it, it's gonna look a lot more even than if all of them were different sizes, you know what I mean? So the sides and the top pieces are all gonna be out of this thin trim because it's nice and pretty, and the bottom piece, the difficult child, is gonna be made out of this thicker piece, which I will paint black, and I'm hoping once these are on with the white, it's gonna look fine. So that's my next step, is to cut these 4 pieces to go on the front to make the frame that you see. And then we'll do the white after. Okay, so the wood frame is all assembled, sanded. It looks very good. I'm very happy with how it's looking. And now I need to paint it. And this is something I went back and forth a lot on. Do I paint it? What color do I paint it? I don't think I want to leave it raw wood just because the wood doesn't, like all the pieces aren't the same exact color, and you can see the nails. But if you asked me like a couple months ago if I wanted to do it black, I would have said no, I want to keep all the colors in this bedroom light. But I think think I want to do it black because the mantle DIY I'm going to be doing next is going to have some black accents in it, and I think it will tie it together nicely. Plus the TV already is black itself, so it's not like there isn't black anywhere in the room. So I think I'm going to do that because I know I need to paint it anyways, and then I can always paint it later. Paint is just paint. You can redo paint. But I hate that I'm saying that now. Like, I plan to change it already, but I don't. I want to do it black. I think I'm going to do it black. I'm going to do it black. Okay, let's go see what blacks we have. We have like every color under the sun here. This, oh, I was like, this looks like the thing. It's matte black, but it's chalkboard. Don't think I want to do that. This looks like black. Actually, this is the stuff we used in the bathroom here at the office, and I really liked it. It was like a really nice matte finish. I think I'll do this. Let's do it. Do you guys want to see something so satisfying? If I can get it started. 1 second. I thought this would come off a lot easier, to be honest. Oh my god. Oh, this is a whole paint tray, a whole new paint tray made out of dried paint. Fun. Okay, let's paint. All right, while my paint dries, I wanted to take a second to talk to you guys about Squarespace. If you don't know, our whole blog website is built on Squarespace. We recently redid it all and it looks so good. Go check it out. All instructions for this blog post actually will be there linked below. Go look at it. Anyway, I personally love how sleek and professional Squarespace's design templates are without having to know anything about how to code a website from scratch. Speaking of design templates, not only are they beautiful, but they all have a unique mobile site built in, which is great because there is nothing worse than a hard to read mobile website. And finally, a feature that we've used a lot of in the past, that is their e-commerce tools. We actually just sold out of our Rose Driver and our Not Sorry patches, which is crazy. But we did that all with the help of Squarespace's inventory management, their simple checkout system, and their secure payments. You can sell physical and digital products as well as services and gift cards. We have a ton of PDF DIY templates available for a small fee on our website for our different projects, and those are actually so easy for us to share with you guys via Squarespace. And when someone purchases the template, it gets emailed to them right away and they can download it pretty much instantly. Whatever we decide to sell next, we know that Squarespace has us covered. Let us know what you'd like to see next. Now that the patches are gone, we gotta get our brains going on what's coming next. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you are ready to launch your site to the world, make sure you go to squarespace.com/TheSorryGirls to get 10% off the purchase of your first website or domain. Okay, so this is looking really good. Let me show you. You literally put my TV in the frame of the video. Okay, this is my TV frame. It's looking really good. But the one sort of final thing I need to do is figure out the one sort of last thing I need to do is figure out the white mat that's gonna go in here, because unfortunately my TV is not this thin and beautiful. If it was, I might not be changing it. It is thicker than this still, so I'm gonna make up the rest of the thickness using the white mat for it. So you could do this kind of out of anything, like cardstock, but I actually went out to the craft store and bought the real photo mat material that you would do to make your own mats in photo frames. This is like a single sheet that you can cut your own. And you could also just cut this with an X-acto knife, a big rectangle frame, but I wanted to be extra about it since I thought, let's make this look as realistic as possible to a piece of art. And I bought, where'd it go? I bought this, which is a fancy cutting tool that will cut my mat on a nice beveled edge. You know how professional photo mats have that like kind of angled rectangle on the inside that makes them look real fancy? So this is gonna do that. So I bought a test piece of this because I'm not kidding myself. I've never used this before and it needs to be perfect. So I'm gonna give myself a test run, see if I can make this thing make a nice cut for me, and then we'll do it for realsies on my actual piece and put it in the frame. Okay. Gentle but firm pressure is key. I highly recommend doing a few practice cuts. That's what I'm doing. Can you even see me? Okay, I'm gonna try and clamp down a straight edge because that sounds like a better time than trying to hold a ruler straight. I'm gonna draw a tiny little rectangle and try and cut that out. See how that goes. Okay, line that up. Push the cut. Oh, I already messed up.
Did it do it? I don't know. Did it do it? Oh yeah. So hot tip, the cutting side is not the good side, if it matters.
Oh my God, it's working so good. Wait, let me show you, I'm very excited. Welcome to my show and tell class. Okay, this is the cut I made. Do you see? Can you see it? Do you see how nice of a little bevel that is? Yes, I think you can see it. Wow, okay. I think I'm ready to do it on my real piece. I feel really confident. Oh, okay, let's do it. Okay, I've got my actual sheet now cut down to the right size to fit perfectly inside the back of the frame I built. And I marked out exactly how much I want. Spacing around it about 1.5 inches of matte. And now I just have to cut it with this and make a nice bevel all the way along. Okay. Nice straight cut. A nice straight cut. Not asking for much. Didn't go through. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna line it up perfectly. And next time I won't take it off until I've done a second pass. Because we'll be smarter and wiser, right? Right. It's beautiful. All right, moment of truth. Wow. Oh my God, that looks so good. That is very professional looking. Okay, and then all I have to do now is just take this new mat that's been cut down to size and hot glue it to the inside of the frame. Make sure I do the right way, facing the right way. I'm gonna tape it with painter's tape just to make sure it's laying totally straight before I actually glue it permanently in place. How does she look? Oh my God! This looks like it! This looks like the TV. This is so exciting. This is really good. This is so exciting. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. You really cannot beat the joy of doing a DIY well, or doing something you've never done before and having it turn out. Wow. Okay, this looks good. Okay, let's glue it. Okay, when my hair gets crazy, you know it's because I've been working on a DIY for a long time. So you might be thinking to yourself, cool frame and all, cool DIY and all, but how are you gonna put it on the actual TV? How are you gonna get it to stay? So I have an idea of how to do that. This frame is pretty much exactly, I'm hoping, the size of my TV width-wise too. So it should fit exactly like a cover on top, but to keep it on the back, I don't wanna do anything that's too restrictive or tight, just in case, like I want it to have some sort of movement so that I don't end up cracking my TV in any way at all. So what I'm gonna do is take some elastic bands, some stretchy elastic, and just put them on an angle on the back of each corner and glue them to the inside of the frame so that when I put the frame on, I can just stretch the elastics over each corner and it should hold it on and keep it there. This frame is super light, by the way, so it shouldn't take much to hold it onto the front of the TV, and this elastic is soft and stretchy and should keep the TV all safe. So I'm gonna add those on and then I'm gonna take it home and see if it fits. I'm thinking something literally just like this. Elastic band in each corner. I think that'll work.
feel like a staple would also be a good idea, just to make sure it doesn't come off at all, but my frame, I so expertly made very thin. So I think a staple will come through the side, which we don't want that. Oh, my staple's literally that big. Okay, let's try it. Let's just try it for added safety. Oh yeah. Okay, that's the winning combo, the glue and the staple. Okay, that's not going anywhere, baby. And then for the other side, I should try and kind of pull this tight as I do it so that it's a good, I don't know, I'm losing my mind. It's a good tightness to hold the TV in there. Alrighty, elastics are on. Let's take it home. Ah! Alrighty, frame is here, ready to go on the TV. Okay. Oh my God, it fits so well. I am internally screaming. It's so perfect. I can't believe it. Wow. And the elastic is like perfectly holding it in place. Okay. Got some art loaded up on here to get the real art gallery experience. Let's do, oh yes. View of Castello di Rivoli. Ooh, I like that one. That's a good one. Oh my God, this is amazing. Welcome to my art gallery, guys. I have an art gallery in my bedroom. Oh, that's a nice one. That one kind of goes with the color scheme of the room. All right, well, I'm gonna have way too much fun playing around with the art I can now display on here, but I am so glad that it works and it looks good. So I wanted to add one final note about safety and functionality of this frame. I had to go back in afterwards and drill out a little hole in the front of the frame so that the TV remote could access the sensor and work. You may or may not have to do this depending on how your remote and television works. And an additional note about safety as well, please be careful to see if there are any vents around the side of your TV that need airflow and that we're not blocking them when you make this frame, because we don't want any TVs overheating. If you do think there are any vents that might be covered, just be careful to notch out a space where the vent can have open access to air and can easily cool down your TV. Okay, I'm gonna end this video with my literal art gallery behind me because that's how happy I am with how this turned out. I did think about labeling this video as a that costs how much? Because we are sort of duping something in a way, but I decided it wasn't exactly that because I wasn't building a TV from scratch and there is more to the Samsung TV than the frame aspect of it. But I guess we could compare how much it costs for me to build my frame to the frames that you can buy for that TV. So I did some little math on how much it cost me to build this, and when I add up the paper mat, that was $6. The wood I used all totaled $20. The elastic band was literally from the dollar store, which in Canada is not $1, it's about $2. And paint, you can get a little sample of paint from the hardware store for about $4. So in total, to build my own DIY frame, it cost me $32, and from what I could see, the actual frames for the frame TV are about $200. And if you want to buy the TV as a whole, that's about $2,000. So I think comparing it that way, yeah, I saved a little bit of money. And I'm just so happy that I like saved this TV. I think it looks absolutely beautiful right now, and I don't in any way feel like I need to buy a new TV now, which is so good because that means I'm not throwing out this TV. I'm not wasting a TV. I'm not purchasing a new one when I don't need to. So that's on DIY for you, and that's how DIY can help save something in your home and not have you feeling the need to repurchase things all the time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I do want to say that this is just one step in a whole makeover that's happening here. Everything below the TV is gonna be changed in next week's video, so please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out when that comes out, because it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot, and there's gonna be some holiday content too, so if you're looking out for that you'll get your fix in that video. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you literally in a week, so please come back, don't miss it, subscribe. I'll see you then. Bye, guys.